So in this session, we'll start up with the new module. Okay, that is our module 2. Okay, bit B. Okay, which is one of the simplest bit. Okay, that is oscillator. So let me just introduce you towards what all we are going to discuss onto this topic of oscillator. So initially, we'll just introduce about a few introductory topic about what we mean by the term oscillator. Then next we will discuss about what's the condition for a circuit to go into an instability or nothing but to behave like an oscillator. So it's a condition for a system to become unstable, for a system to become unstable, or I can say that condition to oscillate, condition to oscillate. Okay, so normally we call this uh, condition as a Bark-Hussein criteria, a Bark-Hussein criteria. Okay, Bark-Hussein criteria for sustained oscillation. Then next we'll discuss about RC phase shift oscillator, RC phase shift oscillator. Okay, then we will be discussing about LC oscillators. So in case of LC oscillators, we'll be discussing two circuits. One is Hartley, one more it is Colplex. Okay, and the last one it is a crystal oscillator. Last one, it's a crystal oscillator. So this is what is the syllabi for your oscillators. Since this is one of the simplest bit and most of the topics they are known to you from the subject of basic electronics, so you should feel very easy with respect to this bit. Okay, so this bit is worth of 20 marks. So you have to be more serious about this particular bit. Okay, so now we'll start up with respect to this circuit. Okay, by introducing ourselves towards a topic called as oscillator. Okay, so first we'll discuss few topics related to this introduction. Now first I want to talk about what's the definition of an oscillator. What's the definition of an oscillator? What's the definition of an oscillator? Now, oscillator is a circuit which basically acts as an generator. That is, it generates an output signal without having or without considering any input to the circuit. Now, this is something special feature of this circuit, I could say, because you people might have seen some electronic circuits. Let me say that this is an electronic circuit wherein you are able to get some signals, more specifically sinusoidal signals as your output signals. But the special feature of this oscillator circuit is that there is no input to this. So it is able to produce an output signal without considering any input. This is something, the special feature of that. Now, question may come in your mind saying that, sir, in many of our electronic circuits, we do apply input and still we fail to get the output from the circuit. And how is this particular oscillator going to produce an output without considering any input? Then I could say to people that whenever I build a circuit with the help of some electronic components and along with some passive components, I simply mean to say whenever I'm having resistor, inductor, capacitor, so these components they are having some signals that we call it as noise, a noise signal, somewhat like this. The noise signal is unpredictable. So it may be of something any wave shape. Okay. Now this particular noise signal, this will be fine tuned. will be brought out into a proper shape with the help of RC, LC components or components along with this combination. If you see, you cannot build a oscillator only using a resistor. By your simple experience till date, you people might have heard the name oscillator several times. You are not seeing any oscillator where only a resistive component is there. Am I right? So you will be having some oscillator circuits along with the resistor. You do require a capacitor. Then you may be feeling what special thing is about this capacitor. Then I can simply say to you people saying that this capacitor, it is an energy storing component. It's an energy storing component. Since it's energy storing component, whenever this component is being used for the previous case, so that energy is stored within this component. So this energy, it is being used in order to produce and fine tune the signal in the form of an sinusoid, in the form of an sinusoid. Okay, is it clear to you? So these energy storing components, such as the component capacitor, the component inductor. So without the help of these two energy storing components, an oscillator circuit cannot be built. Okay, is it clear to you? And many students will be having a very wrong concept in the mind, saying that an oscillator can be built wherein it develops only sinusoidal signal. It's a wrong concept. So you have seen an triple five timer which is being used in order to produce and square signal as an output, right? So it means, so it is also a relaxation oscillator. A triple five timer, a triple five timer working in an unstable mode is also a relaxation oscillator. Is also a free relaxation oscillator. So this simply says that oscillators can be simple wave generating circuits, okay, without considering any input, So these oscillators can be sinusoidal or they can be even non-sinusoidal. But whatever we are having for our syllabi, that is our RC phase shift oscillator, Hartley oscillator, Colquitt's oscillator, and crystal oscillator. So these all oscillators, they are all sinusoidal oscillators. They are all sinusoidal oscillators. Okay, it means they will generate an sinusoidal signal as an output. Is it clear to you? Okay. So now, once you people are able to understand that what is an oscillator, how this oscillator is able to produce an output signal, now what is that you people need to understand is what kind of a feedback you are going to employ in oscillator circuits. What kind of a feedback you are going to employ in case of an oscillator circuits. Now, let me say that as you people have worked on the amplifiers, okay, what kind of feedback you people have employed? Answer me in the chat. What kind of feedback you people have employed? In case of our amplifiers, might be with the help of op-amp, or it might be with the help of transistor or FETs. Yes, you people have employed a negative feedback. Very good. You people have employed a negative feedback, right? Now, when I want my electronic circuit to work like an oscillator, whenever I want my electronic circuit to work like an oscillator, the feedback that I'm going to employ into my circuit is a positive feedback. So this is what you people have to remember. Okay. So don't be under the impression that even in case of oscillator, I'm using a negative feedback. So here we don't employ negative feedback. Here we employ a positive feedback. Is it clear to you? Okay. So now we'll go for a simple theory that allows us to understand what's the fundamental thing about this oscillator. Okay, what's the fundamental thing about this oscillator? So let me say the topic as basic theory of oscillators. Basic theory of oscillators. Okay, so now what I will do is, in order to explain you the concept, let me build some block diagram. Okay, let me say that I'm having some input signal. Okay, let me be having some input signal. Let me denote it as Vi with respect to the time t. So don't feel that, sir, in oscillators, from where is this input signal coming? Let me call this input signal as a fictitious input signal. Okay, let me call this as a fictitious input signal, which means this is an imaginary. This input signal is an imaginary signal. So I don't have this input signal in real time. I'm just using this input signal just to make you understand the topic. Okay, then this input signal, let me say, this input signal, I'm going to apply it to my amplifier. So this is my amplifier. Okay, this is my amplifier. So let me say that this amplifier is having a voltage gain of AV, voltage gain of AV, and I'm going to get output from this amplifier. Let me say the output voltage that I'm going to get from this amplifier, let me denote it as Vout. And let me assume that this amplifier is a non-inverting and is a non-inverting amplifier. Is a non-inverting amplifier. It simply means to say this amplifier will not produce any phase shift. So the phase shift produced by this amplifier is 0 degree. So the 0 degree of phase shift will be introduced by this amplifier. It means my output signal, no doubt, in terms of its amplitude, it will be having a high amplitude than compared to input, but with respect to the phase shift, there is 0 degree phase shift. Okay. Now, I want to make the system as a standalone. That is, it should operate on itself. So in that process, what I will do, I will take a part of the output voltage and apply as input to this particular circuit. So let me say that I'm having a feedback circuit. I'm having a feedback circuit. So this is my feedback circuit. And let me say that the gain of this feedback is beta. The gain of this feedback is beta. And from my fundamental knowledge, I know that the value of beta is always less than 1, because it simply means, you understand the topic over here. If beta is equals to 1, it means entire output voltage I'm going to feed it as an input. But do I want to feed the entire output voltage? No. What I want to feed? A part of output voltage. When I say that it's a part of output voltage, it simply means the gain of this network has to be less than 1. And now, whatever the voltage I'm going to get from this feedback, so this voltage I'm going to feed it to my amplifier. So that reason I'll be using a mixer over here. So this is said to be as a mixer. Okay, I do feel the same thing people are studying in case of your control systems, even in case of your signals and systems. Okay, so this is one input signal, okay, that you're calling it as Vi, and it is going with the positive sign. Okay, and even your feedback signal is being given as input to the mixer. So even this is approaching with the positive sign. So what's the output from over here? The output, what I'm going to get over here, let me make this as Vs, saying that it's a source signal, and this as my input signal Vi. This as my input signal Vi. So this is my Vs, source signal. Understanding? And even my feedback circuit is not going to produce any kind of a phase shift. So even this will produce a 0 degree of phase shift. Now, so this is the output voltage which is fed as input to this. Output of feedback will be what? Output of feedback will be part of output voltage. Let me say a small bunch of your output voltage. So this is your Vf with respect to the time t. Now, if you just observe over here, your feedback signal is having the same phase as compared to your source signal. Now, it simply means to say the feedback that you are going to employ is a positive feedback. Understanding? The feedback that we are going to employ is your positive feedback. Understanding? Is it clear to you? Now, what that we're going to do over here is, let us write equations for these circuits. Let me say now, the equation for my gain of this amplifier, okay, the gain of this amplifier, I can write over here saying that AV, a voltage gain of my amplifier, if I write this as a ratio of output voltage to input voltage, can you specify me what kind of a gain it is? Having reference of this block diagram, V out is your output voltage, V in is the input voltage what is applied to your amplifier. So what kind of a gain this equation is defining? Anybody can answer me in the group chat? What type of a gain do you call it as? Yes? What kind of a gain do you call it as? No? Wrong? Yes, good. Good, Archana. So, this is said to be as an open loop voltage gain. It is called as open loop voltage gain. Why it is called open loop voltage gain? Because you are only considering, if you observe your circuit, you are not considering the feedback path. You are considering only output and you are considering your input. So only this section you are considering. So this becomes your open loop system. Understanding? If you want a closed loop system, then it is V out divided by the Vs. Okay. Understanding? So gain with the feedback, F is gain with the feedback is being given by a ratio of V out divided by Vs. V out divided by Vs, wherein this is said to be as closed loop voltage gain. This is said to be as closed loop voltage gain. Understanding? Now, let me write an equation for your input voltage Vi. So how I can write equation for Vi now? So equation for Vi is being given by, so this Vi is equals to what now? Your source voltage Vs plus your feedback voltage Vf. So this is your feedback voltage Vf. So I can write over here as my Vi is equals to Vs plus Vf. Understanding? Now, what is this Vf? Vf is a feedback voltage where I can write this Vf as beta times that of V naught, because my Vf is indicating part of output voltage. So since beta value is less than 1, so this is conveying that the voltage that I'm going to feed it to my summer or to the mixer is portion or part of your output voltage V naught. Understanding? So now this, let me call this as expression number 1 and this is expression number 2. So now let me substitute the value of Vf into this expression. What is that I'll be getting? I'll be getting Vi is equals to Vs plus beta times that of V naught. Beta times that of the V naught. Okay. Now if I write this expression for Vs, how I can write this? So therefore Vs will be equal to, therefore Vs will be equal to, so I need to send this term from your RHS to LHS. So I'm just transferring this term from RHS to LHS. So when I'm transferring this term from RHS to LHS, my Vs will become Vi minus beta times that of the V naught. Vs is equals to Vi minus beta times that of V naught. Understanding? So now what we'll do over here is, now substituting the value of this Vs in terms of your equation, that's your equation for a gain, that is a closed loop voltage gain. So what's the equation we'll be having now? I can write this expression as, so as I know what's the equation for Vs, I know what's the equation for the AF. So I'm just substituting the value of Vs into my AF expression. So I'll be able to get this as AF is equals to, okay. So for your reference, I'll just write it this stuff once again. V out divided by Vs, and I know what is the value of Vs. So this is equals to V out divided by Vi minus beta times that of the V naught. Okay. So this is equals to, now for this expression, what I will do, I will divide both the numerator as well as denominator by Vi. Okay. So I will divide both numerator and denominator by Vi. So what is that I'll be getting? I'll be able to get this as AF is equals to V out by Vi divided by Vi minus beta into V out divided by Vi. So what is the expression we're getting now? So I know that V out by Vi. What is V out by Vi? V out by Vi is nothing but open loop voltage gain of the circuit. So I can write this expression now as AF is equals to AV divided by 1 minus beta times that of AV. So this is an important expression that you people need to remember in case of your oscillators. So your closed loop voltage gain, AF is being given by open loop voltage gain divided by 1 minus feedback factor into open loop voltage gain. So this is a very, very important expression. So if you do remember, in case of your negative feedback, you have got the expression as AF is equals to AV divided by 1 plus AV beta. But in case of a positive feedback system, you'll be able to get this as AF is equals to AV divided by 1 minus AV beta. So either you can write beta into AV or AV into beta. It will not make much difference. Understanding? Is it clear to you? Now, very important thing. Let us work on this equation. Let us not use this equation over here itself. We'll work on this equation a little bit mathematically. Okay. So now what we'll do over here is we'll just make a brief analysis over here. Let me have a small table. Okay. Let me say that now this is the gain of my circuit. Let me say open loop voltage gain AP. I'm going to have a feedback factor beta, and this is my closed loop voltage gain AF. Okay, so with reference to this equation, I'm going to speak now. Okay, now let me say that I have designed my transistor based circuit or an FET based circuit using an op amp. I'm working onto my signals. I have somehow maintained this voltage gain as 20. This AV, I'm able to operate this with the value as 20. And now the feedback factor beta, the value of this is found to be as 0.005. 0.005. Will you compute me what's the value of AF? Yes, please work on our calculators and let me know what's the value of your AF. Good, Archana. I want answers from all the students. So that indicates your involvement in the session. I want all the students to answer to this particular numerical or to this particular value. What's the value of your AF? The value of your AF is standing as 22.2. Okay. So now what I will do, I will just keep the value of the gain of the circuit as 20. I'll not alter this. Instead, I'll increase this feedback. I'll increase the feedback from 0.005 to 0.04. Now, what's the value of your gain? What's the value of your gain? That's closed loop voltage gain, AF. The value is found to be as 100. Good, very good. Now, for the last time, I would like to have the value of AB as 20 and beta as 0.05. Now, you compute me what's the value of your AF. Now, you compute me what's the value of your AF. Good. You will be getting the value of your AF as infinite. You'll be getting the value of your AF as infinite. Go back to your equation. Go back to your equation. What's the equation for your AF? You have defined prior the equation for AF, as AF has been defined as a ratio of 20 your V out divided by Vs. So since you have defined AF as V out divided by Vs and are able to get the value of this AF as infinite, how it is possible? So this is possible only when my Vs becomes 0. This is what we are saying. This is what we're saying. Saying that in case of your electronic circuit, okay, in case of your electronic circuit, you are able to produce a signal. You are able to produce a signal such that if the gain of this amplifier circuit is very high, your output can be seen in the circuit. I simply mean to say your gain of the circuit, your gain of the circuit has to be high. Along with this, the feedback factor also has to be high. In that case, you can have a sustained oscillations without having any input by making your Vs is equals to 0. Okay, is it clear to you? So just to justify that, I thought of taking one example wherein people can work mathematically on that and understand the significance of this expression. Is it clear to you? So this is a fundamental thing. That is, you are able to develop or generate an output signal, okay, by not having any input into the circuit. By not having any input into the circuit. Understanding? Is it clear to you? Okay. Any queries related to this topic? Any queries related to this topic? Okay. So now we'll go for the second topic of the interaction, which is nothing but a Barth-Hussein criteria. Okay. So it is called as Barth-Hussein criteria for sustained oscillations. To be very specific, for sustained oscillation. This term is very important. Sustained oscillations. So this term is self-explanatory. Okay, sustained oscillations. What does this mean? Oscillations can be of any type. I can say that if at all if your signal is somewhat like this, it's also an oscillation. If I say that my signal is somewhat like this, it is also an oscillation. Okay. But when I say the term sustained oscillation, it means that the amplitude of the signal is not varying, frequency of the signal is not varying. This is how you are able to generate your signals. So this is how you want your signals to be, not like this. So it means your intention is to produce sustained oscillations in the circuit. You want to produce a sustained oscillations in a circuit. Okay. So now to make you people understand this Bark-Hussein criteria for sustained oscillation, let me say that I'm going to have an amplifier. Let me say that I'm going to have an amplifier. Okay. Let me consider now this amplifier is of type inverting. Let me consider this amplifier of type inverting. I simply mean to say now, if at all, if I am providing an input signal Vi, because of which I'll be getting an output signal V out. Now when I compare my input output wave shape, then I'll be able to get my input signal somewhat like this. So this is my Vi with respect to time t. My output signal, V out with respect to time t will be phase shifted by 180 degree. My V out will be phase shifted by 180 degree. So this is the amount of phase shift what this circuitry is able to build it. Okay. So now this network Vi is applied to this amplifier, because of which I'll be able to get this output voltage, which is having a phase shift of 180 degree. Okay. Now what I will do over here is I will have my feedback circuit. I will have my feedback circuit. Okay. I'll have my feedback circuit such that this feedback circuit is also having capability or ability to produce one more phase shift of 180 degree. One more phase shift of 180 degree. Let me say that this output voltage, whatever I'm getting, I'm going to feed it as an input to this feedback circuit. The output is fed as input. And let me say that the gain of this feedback is once again beta. Gain of this amplifier is AV. And I'm able to get some output from this feedback circuit, so which I'm going to call this as VF. Okay. Now I know what's the equation for this VF. The equation for this VF is that VF is defined as beta times the of V naught. And this VF and this VF, I'm going to send it as input to this amplifier circuit. Let me say that now I'm going to connect this VF as input to this network. So it means now with no input signal, making my input signal 0. So this circuitry is connected back to back. Your amplifier output is connected to input to feedback. Output of the feedback is connected back to your amplifier. So this is called as back-to-back connection. This is called as back-to-back connection. And the circuit is able to oscillate amongst itself. If you want in terms of its wave shape, I simply mean to say over here, so if this is your input signal, your amplifier is producing a phase shift of 180 degree. So this 180 degree phase shifted signal is given as input to the feedback. This feedback circuit once again it introduces a phase shift of 180 degree. So what is the wave shape now? The wave shape is somewhat like this. So this is your feedback voltage with respect to time t. Now when you compare your feedback voltage with respect to your input voltage, you can simply say that since there is 0 degree phase shift, since there is 0 degree phase shift between your input voltage and the feedback voltage, then I can say that the circuit is employed, or the circuit is going to work in case of a positive feedback system. The circuit is going to work into a positive feedback system. Is it clear to you? So now, if I want to make people understand the topics into an mathematical equations, then I can write the equations over here, saying that my output voltage V out is being defined as AV into Vi. Okay, I'm just writing this equation from my equation of voltage gain. I hope you people are able to understand this, because I intuitively know that what's the equation for AV. The equation for AV stands as AV is equals to V out divided by VI. So therefore, I'll be able to get my V out as AV into VI. Okay, then I also know that what's the equation for the feedback voltage. The equation for the feedback voltage is being given by Vf is equals to minus beta times that of V out. Now you may be asking that, sir, why are you using this term negative? So for your reference, I can write over here, this negative sign is saying that when I compare my output voltage with respect to the feedback voltage, so there is a phase shift of 180 degree. There's a phase shift of 180 degree between your output voltage and your feedback voltage. So that's the reason why I'm writing over here a negative sign. So negative sign is in accordance with 180 degree phase shift. 180 degree